dogs, let me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
We never really learned about Parks and Recs until we learned about this internship that we're doing right now. It kind of gives us that in-depth look into how other people, young professionals, can start their lives going into Parks and Rec.
I feel like we've definitely learned that it's very broad, and Craig has mentioned to both of us, because we're in marketing, that there's a lot of opportunity even within Parks and Rec for marketing.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, Young Professionals Network. Joining hosts Aidyn, Tierney, and Michael Morrow, we're sitting down with Jake Linford, Assistant Parks and Recreation Director for Bryan County, Georgia. From going to school specifically for recreation management to leading athletic-focused programs in a fast-growing community, Jake's story offers a first-hand look at what it takes to grow, lead, and serve through Parks and Rec. This conversation explores career pathways, community impact, youth athletics, and the lessons young professionals need to hear as they step into leadership roles. Let's dive in.
There we go.
All right.
So hello, everybody. My name is Michael Morrow. I'm here with my co-host Aidyn Tierney, and also we have Jake from Georgia. And this is just another episode of the YPN Network, and we're going to be going through Jake's daily life kind of sort of thing in Georgia within Parks and Rec. Aidyn, you got anything?
Well, before we start and get into the conversation with you, we are going to run a few of our promos. So we're just going to do that quickly, and then we'll get into the conversation.
Sweet.
In today's parks and recreation industry, communication, safety, and efficiency go hand in hand. That's where Outdoor Link comes in, delivering smart technology that empowers city departments and community planners to do more, smarter. Outdoor Link's platform connects and automates everything that keeps your parks running smoothly, from lighting and locks to signage, water features, Wi-Fi, and digital advertising. Control and schedule park lights for safety and energy savings. Remotely manage facility access. Update digital displays in real time. Coordinate fountains and splash pads. Provide public connectivity. And even run community or sponsorship campaigns on digital screens. All from one simple, unified platform, giving you real-time control, data, and cost efficiency. For parks and recreation agencies, that means safer spaces, smarter resource use, faster responses, and stronger community engagement. And behind every great park story is great infrastructure. That's why Outdoor Link proudly supports DPRS Media Company, helping the Daily Parks and Rec Show amplify the voices of professionals shaping our communities every day. Outdoor Link, smart, connected solutions for parks, recreation, and beyond.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product? Growing your presence in public spaces? Targeting cities, counties, or departments? DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.
Awesome. So, Jake, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of like where you're at, your role, how you got into it?
Yeah. First things first, I'm Jake Linford. I'm currently the Assistant Parks and Rec Director for Bryan County, Georgia. It's a municipality just outside of Savannah, in kind of that southeastern part of Georgia. So it's a great place. But I originally am from Colorado. That's where I was born and raised. And then I moved to Idaho, where I did my schooling, and then back over here. So it's kind of a little bit about me. Been in the industry for about 4 years now. I started in Idaho. I went to BYU, Idaho. And that's where I graduated with a recreation management degree. And while I was in school, I did an internship my sophomore year, I believe it was. And then shortly after there, I was offered a full-time position within the city of Rexburg up there. And I was there for about 2.5 years before coming here to Georgia. It's kind of short.
As someone who went to school for, what did you say you went to school for?
Recreation management is my degree.
Recreation management.
Mm-hmm.
You're the first person so far that I've heard that has gone to school for that and then
Really
went into the career, obviously. What kind of classes did you take when you were there?
Yeah. So BYU, Idaho, it was a lot of probably about half business and then half like outdoor, more like tourism. The school is located about an hour outside of Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons National Park. So it's a super pretty area of the country. And so a lot of kids come and they want to get into like backpacking and canyoneering and kind of outdoor adventure stuff. So there, a lot of the classes were like that. I took like an outdoor cooking class, a camping class.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I went on a 10-day backpacking trip that got me like 10 credits. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of good time. But yeah, then you had the kind of the business side of things, HR management, accounting, stuff like that. So
You're kind of one of our first guests who have kind of gone to school knowing that you kind of wanted to go into the recreation side of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's interesting.
A lot of our guests kind of go in, they just go to school and then they kind of just somehow end up in Parks and Rec, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of why we asked the question, is because we were both college students and we're business majors and stuff like that. So
sure,
we never really learned about Parks and Recs until we learned about this internship that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives us that in-depth look into how other people, young professionals, can start their lives going into Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I feel like we've definitely learned that it's very broad, and Craig has mentioned to both of us, because we're in marketing, that there's a lot of opportunity even within Parks and Rec for marketing. I was like, oh, like I never would have considered that, but now that I'm here, like maybe.
Yeah.
Now, you know Craig, correct?
Yeah, so we met at the GRPA conference, and I was in his class that he taught up there. And then I think the last day, they kind of had like the table set up and they were doing podcasts throughout the whole week. And it's just kind of cool. And on the last day, I was hanging out with my team as we were getting ready to go the last day. And it's like, let me just go up and just tell him thank you for teaching. Like, I learned a lot from his class. It was great. He's like, hey, yeah, man, we'd love to have you on the show. I'm like, all right, sure.
Yeah. Was that the one a month or two ago?
Yeah, it was the first part of November. In Jekyll Island.
So.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So,
sorry.
You go.
What was I gonna ask? I'm sorry. You can go more.
The next kind of question that we have is, was there a moment that really stood out to you in your time working in Parks and Rec that really showed you how much of like a community base Parks and Rec is and how important Parks and Rec is to the community?
Yeah, I mean, there's several. Anyone in the industry can go and highlight negative moments that they've had that they're like, man, why am I doing this? But then at the end of the day, you come back for those positive moments, and there's several all the time. Kind of a big one that stands out to me is when I was in Idaho. After I did my internship, a little bit of backstory, I guess. My internship, I was on the race committee. And so the city of Rexburg, they ran a race series. So there was a big marathon that they did that had a 5K, 10K, half, full, a kids race. Like over 1,000 people are running that on that one day. So it's a pretty big event. And several other races throughout the year, 4th of July race and other 5Ks and stuff like that. So that was my summer internship. I loved it. I ran cross country and track in high school. I come from that background, and so it was a natural fit. And then the race director, he left shortly after I finished the internship, and I stayed on the team for a little bit, and I was a natural fit and just worked out nicely. So my first year that I was involved as the race director, I was still a full-time student, and the guy quit with about 3 months before the marathon. The marathon was in June. He left, probably March, April-ish. And so I was brought on full-time at that point, and it's basically, all right, plan the race. And luckily I did the internship the year prior, and so I had a little bit of background with it. But one of the cool things in the marathon community is there's a 50 states marathon club. And so we had networked with them a handful of times, and we gave a discounted rate for those members to come and run our race. And so we would be the Idaho representation of the 50 states marathon club. And luckily enough, there was a guy that sent me an email kind of last minute, and was like, my Idaho marathon fell through, but I'm going to be in the neighborhood doing like the Montana marathon the week prior. Can I just swing by and do yours? I know registration's closed and stuff. It's going to be my 50th, the final marathon I need to do.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I was like, well, of course, I'll make an exemption. Let me get you in. And we had a special T-shirt made for them, and a couple other cool things. And we use it kind of as a marketing tool for us as well, moving forward. Right. Did a short little interview, took some pictures and stuff like that. And it was a super cool experience, and he was super grateful for it, obviously. And, something that I'll take. It's very memorable. Something really easy for me to do, but it made a difference for the guy.
Parks and Recs is kind of one of those things that like I never realized how important it was until I kind of started doing this internship, honestly, because like we run one of the promos. I don't think we're running it today, but it like talks about how it's like a needed thing in communities because it's so important. And I never really thought about it like that, but I grew up playing baseball, so I was always at parks and stuff like that, and I never put it together that like the people that run this are so important to all this and everything. So hearing stuff like that definitely shows why it's so important to have these people like running this stuff.
Yeah. Piggybacking off of that, I grew up like always at the baseball fields. Like my sister played softball, I played soccer, and we would spend every single day there. They were probably sick of us, but it really I don't know, formed a little community for us because we had so many friends who also were there every day, and it was just something that was very special. I did notice that on your LinkedIn you have like a run club thing. Like you posted something about a run club.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about, or is that something separate?
Yeah, that was totally separate. That was when I was in Idaho.
Okay.
So that was the second, third year go around that I was with that organization. So like I said, we did a massive marathon, 5Ks, 10Ks. I added a couple races to that race series during my time. But I started the run club selfishly. I wanted people to run with, and I needed to be more active and more healthy. And so I've got this platform. I've got this network of thousands of emails over the past 10 years. I can send a blast out and say, hey, we're meeting at the park 6:30 on Thursday nights. Come join me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that post in LinkedIn, I think that was the next day. And I had to brag about it. Like, hey, I started a run club, and unfortunately, fortunately, however you want to look at it, about 3 months later, that's when I interviewed for this job down here.
Right.
And so I was only able to be a part of it for a couple months, and the person that took after me, I think he's continued it, and it's still going here and there. So
run clubs, I feel like I see a lot about them on social media. I feel like they're very popular and getting more and more popular. So that's great that like you were able to start that. I mean, selfishly, but you started it.
Well, yeah, and at the end of the day, it was to get more runners into the races, and so it helped the program and get higher numbers, more revenue, better for our sponsors, all that thing. So it's a win-win-win-win for everybody.
Yeah. For there's this show, and a few episodes ago for this show, they talked about it as well. It's like the Parks and Recreation show. It's not this, but it's like a
It's like a
they call it. And
like the NBC one with like
yes,
Andy Fuller. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was saying like one of the things that they say on there, one of the myths of Parks and Rec is that it's just athletes who wanted to continue into this kind of field. And I feel like that's what I'm feeling from you right now.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I ran cross country and track in high school. I played basketball as well. But growing up all through like my younger years, I came up in the rec programs. I played baseball, softball, or soccer. I did a little bit of football. Yeah, pretty much you name it, I did it. My parents had me in all the golf lesson programs and the summer camp, this or that. We lived about a mile away from the rec center. So I was dropping in at open gyms or going swimming or hanging out at the parks. So that was my life growing up.
And I think that's so important because nowadays I think it's such a trend with social media and just technology in general that kids are on their phones more. Like screen time is more of a thing than it is to like be outside or like be in nature. Yeah. So is there anything based on that trend that you guys have been like implementing more, like maybe a like outdoor, like just helping kids get outside or promote it more?
Like different projects that you guys are trying to run.
Right.
Yeah, great question. So here in Georgia, at least for our county, the real emphasis is athletics. So we don't do a whole lot of like the leisure or passive recreation. I mean, we've got our parks and there's some walking trails and ponds and stuff like that. But as far as like the traditional community events and races or that sort of thing, we're kind of steering clear. We're focusing primarily on the youth athletics.
That's great.
So yeah, we've got great participation. Our team does a great job in running those programs. We've got a really, really good staff that are just killing it right now. So we're blessed to be able to work with them and they're doing a fantastic job. But yeah, that's primarily our focus right now. In the near future, we've had conversations internally about, well, what if we branched out to this area of whatever that might be, more summer camp, sport camps, or getting the kids out to do this fun thing that's not necessarily athletics, but getting them outside.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's super important.
We've kind of brainstormed some ideas, but not in the immediate future, maybe in the next 2 years.
You mentioned earlier before we went live that you guys were doing something with the Zamboni, correct?
Yeah.
So what are some of the facilities that you guys have in Georgia that take up a lot of time right around this time of year?
Yeah. So in Bryan County, we have 3 park systems. We've got our Henderson Park, which has a 2 basketball court, gym, conference room area, stuff like that. And then we have 4 turf football, soccer field combos.
Oh, wow.
3 youth softball fields, 3 adult softball fields, a grass soccer field that you can do different geographic, however you want to set that up, you can do that.
Right.
Basically, it's 2 full-size ones, but we can run it however we want. And then a big pond that has a walking path and stuff like that.
Are all your athletics like just in one vicinity? No, all spread out?
Yeah. So our Henderson Park, which I just explained, and then our Timber Trail location, those 2 are on the south end of our county in Richmond Hill. And then we have one other park system, which is about 40 minutes to the north in Pembroke. And that has another full complex. So yeah, Bryan County, it kind of stretches. And right smack dab in the middle is Fort Stewart, which is a military base. And so you've got to kind of go all the way around this way, back in to get it. So travel time is 40 minutes, but if you're just able to point, it's maybe 20 or so.
Right.
Now you mentioned the turf fields. How recent are they put in? Because I know we're from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So a lot of the different high schools and everything and the colleges are kind of moving into more turf fields.
Oh, yeah.
I would guess mostly because the weather in the Northeast isn't very forgiving.
Sure.
But how recent are the ones down where you're at?
Yeah, so 2 of them are a little bit older. They did just get resurfaced about 2 years ago. And then the 2 newer ones, which got put in about the same time as the gym, that was about 3 years ago. So
Right.
relatively new. They're real nice, and we do a lot of stuff on them. So
Yeah, I bet they
Take it easy.
love
around,
that.
right?
They're a commodity.
You had, oh, I'm sorry.
No, they're everybody wants to use them. Everybody wants a reservation on them. So
Oh, you guys do reservations? We have things around us where you're required a reservation, and it makes sense if so many people want to use it.
yeah,
I'd just be like, can I just show up and go, like, play? You mentioned community events earlier. Are there any big community events that you guys would say you're known for, like, promoting or just having?
Yeah. So our recreation coordinator, her name's Kelly Harcum. She is our special events coordinator. And then she does our summer camp program as well. And so she is in charge of the Easter egg hunt that we put on. We do one for the south end and one for the north end. So it's back-to-back weekends pretty much that we're dressing up as the Easter bunny and putting out eggs and that sort of thing. And that one has a really good attendance. I think the south end last year we were estimating just around 800 people came.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So kids included and parents and stuff. But yeah, it's well received there. And then there's several other things that we've messed around with over the last year or so. Do you know the motorized cars that the little kids drive in, like the Jeeps or the things like that, battery powered? So last year we called it the Hendricks Park 500 after our Hendricks Park park up north. We mapped out a little course, and they brought in their cars, and we gave them a sticker tag on the back. They dressed up, and we ran them around a couple laps and had a trophy for the winner and stuff like that. So that was
that's cute.
something creative and fun that she did a great job kind of orchestrating that. And it was a fun event. We'll see if we can get enough participation to do it this year. But
did the cars go fast, or they were just slow?
Like you would think, just kind of puttering along. I think our track was 500 feet, so not super long. So they were maybe doing that in 2 minutes.
You're right.
But yeah, it was like a 6-year-old, 5-year-olds, maybe some 7 or 8-year-olds.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Do you guys do any adult athletics over there?
Yeah, we do. Our summertime, obviously the kids are out of school, and so that's when we focus on our adult side of things. And we do an adult co-ed softball league and then adult co-ed volleyball. They kind of run simultaneously. And then we also do a men's league in the fall.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Around us, they do, one of the big ones is the kickball.
Yeah.
They do adult kickball. And I know that one usually gets a good turnout for the adults in it. So that's why I always ask that question. I love to hear about that, what the adults are doing in different parts of the country.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Is volleyball super popular there?
It is massive. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So our co-ed volleyball league this last summer, we had, I believe, 13 teams.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was a lot. And they do I think we did an 8-game schedule and then a big double elimination tournament in one day to end the season out.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's super well received. And then our youth program, we do a high school age group, a middle school age group, and an elementary school age group. And we do a spring season and a fall season. Mm-hmm. Our fall season that just wrapped up about a month ago, that one we had 39 teams.
Wow.
Close to about 400 girls participating.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was a lot.
I would not have thought volleyball was that big. It's not necessarily super big around us, I guess. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
One of the cool things I like to hear about is the different sponsorships that you guys have for the athletics. Do you guys have any certain fun sponsorships that you guys have?
So we don't. We've been it's guided by our county leadership, county commissioners.
Yeah.
That we don't want to get involved in the sponsorship realm of things. I guess before I got here, there was some confusion on what sponsors were getting, what they weren't getting, and what we were giving, and just kind of muddied the waters there. And so they came down and said, "Yep, we're going to stay clear from that. And if we need the funds, we can find the funds, or we don't get the thing that we need the funds for." So yeah, it kind of makes it black and white. I was kind of disappointed in that because in Idaho, when I was over the races, that was one of the big things that I was focusing on, because if we don't have money from sponsors, we can't do the race. So that was one of the focuses, and one of the things I really enjoyed about my job there. And so kind of a bummer that we don't get to go out and try to find money, but
yeah, exactly.
I think we kind of touched on this earlier with one of your favorite memories within the profession, like so far, but do you have a favorite project specifically that you've worked on, and like what made this project specifically stand out?
Yeah. So couple things I guess come to mind. The first one, when I got to the area, my boss in Idaho is my boss here. So he got the director's job, and then kind of brought me with him. And so we
that's nice.
came to Georgia kind of as a tag team sort of deal. And so we came in just how do we make things good? How do we expand? How do we make Bryan County the best Parks and Rec we possibly can? And it started with our staff. You know, we've had hiccups and we've messed up, and I'm not perfect by any means, but that's one of the things that we've really focused on is building our staff and making them trust us and helping them learn. We have a pretty new staff that, you know, a lot of recent graduates, and, you know, myself included, I'm learning too. And that was just it's been a really fun last 2 years to learn and grow with them. And where we were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you know, kind of when we got here to now, it's a completely different ball game. We're clicking on all cylinders, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, that's great. So you work with a lot of people relatively the same age as you? Yeah.
Earlier in the I guess the conversation, you guys mentioned that I knew what I wanted to do going into college, and that's partially right. I went to college late. So after I graduated high school, I worked for a couple of years. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so I went on a 2-year mission to Colombia.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
And then when I got home, I got married. We were trying to figure things out. And then I went to school. So I was like, 23 by the time I was going back to school. I did some things online and stuff beforehand. But so yeah, my goal was to get through school as quick as I can, get a job as quick as I can, and just grow as quick as I can. So I needed to know what I wanted to do going into college, so I wasn't wasting those early years of my 20s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I was behind the curve, quote unquote, you know, of the traditional schooling system. So, yeah. So that's a lot. Yeah, a lot of the staff, they're younger, mid-20s, and we get along great.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Some older, more veteran team members, and learning from them every day.
Yeah. Now I just have a question that I was curious about. You talked about how you worked in Idaho and everything like that. You mentioned that you were close to Yellowstone. So are you guys able to work with Yellowstone with them being a park? Like me and Aidyn are kind of learning about the Parks and Rec system as we get here. So that just really interested me because I got to visit Zion National Park over the summer last summer.
Yeah.
We're just kind of learning about kind of that stuff. Just kind of wondering, are you guys a part of running Yellowstone in a way or no? No. So yeah, when we were in Idaho, we were just the city. Okay.
And so we didn't do anything. And like I said, we were probably an hour and a half from like the west entrance into Yellowstone. We were closer to the Tetons, about an hour or so. But those are both like federally, they're national park and rec. So they were federally funded and federally operated.
Okay.
So yeah, we were on the low totem pole. We had reached out to them to try to get some representatives to come to some of our events that we hosted in the parks, like like start a summer event so they could come and set up a booth and give out information about Yellowstone and best days to go and that sort of thing, just for the people coming to the park. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, right. I was just interested because I
Yeah.
got to visit Zion, and that was incredible. Have you been to Yellowstone, I would guess, right?
Yep.
And is that just incredible, or?
Yeah, it's super pretty. It's an awesome place.
I want to get up there to visit that one time.
Miss the mountains being in Georgia.
Yeah, right.
It's just flat.
Did you do any hunting or fishing or anything when you were in Idaho or anywhere?
Just a little bit. I'm not much of a hunter. Did a little bit of fishing. Just kind of more hanging out and throwing the rod in and just hanging out more than anything. But yeah, more hiking, some trail running, that sort of thing.
Awesome. Well, we're getting right to that halfway point. So
sure.
Does anybody have any final thoughts before we run these couple promos, and then we'll go
No,
back
you're
into
good.
it?
You can run them.
All right, here we go.
They say it's Just Rec. Just Rec, where kids learn to try again. Just Rec, where confidence begins. Where teamwork, effort, and fun matter more than trophies. It's not about perfection. It's about participation. It's not just rec. It's where kids learn to love the game and themselves. It's just rec until they learn teamwork for life. It's just rec, but it's everything to them. It's more than rec. It's a movement. It's just rec until you realize it's shaping the next generation. Together, we're not just running programs. We're building a culture of confidence, connection, and community. Join us.
On the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we bring you the real stories of tomorrow's professionals. People shaping the future, one idea at a time. Meet the very first DPRS interns to officially host their own segment, Aidyn Tierney and Michael Morrow. With curiosity, passion, and a fresh perspective, they're stepping into the spotlight to lead meaningful conversations with today's rising leaders. The Young Professionals Network takes you inside the journeys, challenges, and major wins of young individuals making their mark across industries. From first jobs to bold ventures, every story fuels growth, ambition, and innovation. Each episode brings real conversations, fresh perspectives, and impactful insights created to motivate the next generation of professionals. Whether you're just starting out, exploring new paths, or figuring out your next move. Tune in to the Young Professionals Network every Thursday at 5 p.m. only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Don't miss it, because your next big idea might be one story away.
Sorry for the technical difficulties there.
We're learning.
Yeah.
All right. So based off our new commercial or our ad for the Young Professionals Network, you can tell like kind of what we're interested in, who we're targeting with like college students or just anyone looking into a career path. So I kind of wanted to know, when you were in college, because I know I get asked this all the time, or I get told this all the time, that it's always like networking, like connections. Like, would you agree that that's a very important part of any profession?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Sorry.
I can contribute to or attribute where I'm at, right now in my position with networking. If I hadn't networked with the city of Rexburg, I wouldn't have landed an internship there. If I wouldn't have networked within the recreation department of Rexburg, I wouldn't have gotten a full-time position, which I wouldn't have been able to work closely with my supervisor at the time and supervisor now to build that relationship, build that trust to get to here now. Yeah, and so
No, that's great.
Yeah, in school they've just been kind of beating that into our heads that how
Yeah.
big networking is. So it's
Mhm.
cool to hear it from somebody that is a professional and has had it work for them,
And I'm sure the where you had seen Craig, that what was that?
The Georgia Park and Rec Association
Convention?
conference. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Uh-huh.
sure like a thing like that is great for networking for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's those are always fun events just to go, and you're sitting in new classes, sitting next to people, and it's nerve wracking just to sit down and open your mouth to the person you've never met before, but
Yeah.
they're in the same boat. They're nervous too, and so just
Right.
do it. And then once that awkwardness is done, okay, now you're best friends. You exchange business cards and you call them on a random Thursday because you're having this difficulty, and they're going to help you.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So that's how it is.
I'm sure you've met so many people from like all over the place, like just through that convention.
Mm-hmm.
Was that kind of people from all over the country at that convention, or was it more Georgia based?
Yeah, so the GRPA, that's Georgia specific, and so that's the whole state. Whoever wants to come can come, and then they have the NRPA, the National Park and Rec Association Convention Conference, and that's usually right around the same time as the Georgia one. And I went to that one as well. This past year it was in Orlando, and so I got to see some people from that I've had classes with in college that are in California or Arizona or different places like that. We got to meet up and do dinners or whatever. And
yeah, that's awesome.
My old coworkers in Idaho, got to see some of them as well. And so, yeah,
that's awesome. So, all right. So I got more of a fun question for you here. I asked this last week to our guest, and it gave us a pretty fun response. If you had no budget, so there was infinite budget, what would a project be that you would want to work on for Georgia?
That's a good question.
Yeah. One of the projects we just finished wrapping up here, we designed and built a disc golf course at one of our parks.
Oh, nice.
I got into disc golf in Idaho with my boss as well. And so that was kind of like our passion project. We'd go out on Saturdays on our free time and design some holes and this and that. And then we got to work with some of the local disc golfers to help with the implementation of it all. And just a couple of weeks ago, we put the final basket in and had an opening kind of round with some of the community members and stuff like that. And
has it been a hit so far?
No budget. Sorry, go ahead.
Has it been a hit so far?
It has. Yeah, slowly but surely.
It's
a lot of people don't quite know about it yet.
Yeah, right.
It's still fresh, and so people are coming in.
You can repost this on LinkedIn, and maybe some people will see.
There you go. Get my network going, huh?
Yeah, we have those kinds of courses. What is it? Disc golf. Disc golf. We have those in some of the parks around us, but it's one of those things that I just I've never tried to do because they're in the middle of trees and trails, and I'm like, I'm gonna hit somebody.
Yeah. Is that kind of how yours is too, or is it more open? Like ours is in Pennsylvania. They're like in the parks. They're like in the middle of the woods and stuff. So I don't know how you'd have to be pretty good. I feel like to do it, but
yeah,
I don't know. Is that kind of how it is there? Is it more?
Yeah, ours is a kind of a mixture. So we've got about 4 or 5 that are like super open, and then heavily wooded, and then kind of middle. So I think we've done a pretty good job of including kind of all aspects of it. But I think if we had no budget and we could just do whatever we wanted, the disc golf course would be looking amazing. Retaining walls, fountains, you name it, we'll put it in. So
well, that's the second good answer. Last week the guy that we had on said that he would have an esports arena.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And put in some sort of esports within the Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
kids would go crazy for that.
Yeah, I know. That would take away from the kids getting outside and
that would
right?
If you balance our answers, maybe then we'll
right.
We hit the middle
somewhere.
So as someone in a leadership position, what kind of qualities do you think is most important to you in your position, in your profession, would you say?
Yeah, we kind of have a joke within the department that majority of my day is just spent listening. And I've got an open door policy. People come in and they vent and they express their frustrations, and we kind of work through that, problem solve together. And so, for me, I would say I've realized more and more that that's a large portion of my role, is to help my staff be the best that they can be, so that the programs can be the best that they can be for the community and for those that, we're serving. And so if that's me taking an hour away from my administrative work that at the end of the day isn't that important, as long as it gets done by when it needs to get done,
right,
to be able to help, somebody right now, like, all right, I'll do it. And I do it on the daily.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, now you get to come on here and just talk. We don't have to listen.
Yeah. No, it's been good. I'm getting sore.
Yeah. Not used to it.
Yep.
I mean, going into something that we ask a lot of the guests, it's kind of just like, what is the biggest challenges that you see within Parks and Rec right now? And we usually have a similar answer to this. So I'm kind of curious to see what you think it is, and then I'll tell you what they usually think it is.
Yeah. So say that again, the biggest,
the biggest challenges that you guys see within Parks and Rec.
Okay. Yeah. Right now for us, where we're so athletic focused, it's the athletics and everything that goes into it.
Right.
So parent and coach behavior at games, that's a big one that always gets addressed. Referee or official behavior, and then just finding good officials.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, do you guys have a problem? Like, do you have a shortage of officials?
Yes and no. I think we get enough, but sometimes the quality of what we're getting, it's, their first time officiating and they're doing a 14U baseball game.
Yeah.
So the balls and strikes are a lot more important at 14U than they are at 8U. And so, that's kind of the difficulty. And then, that's a ball, that's a strike, that's a ball. Parents and coaches are yelling at them, and then they get flustered, and it's just a mess. And so, I think we can staff it to have enough there, but sometimes it's just not to the level that we
Exactly. That makes sense. Usually the big answer we get is funding. Do you guys have a problem with funding at all? Or we talked a little bit about it with the sponsorships, but the funding is usually what people say is the biggest problem.
Yeah. We're kind of a new, fresh department, 2 years in with this team. We haven't really understood what our budget actually is. Right. It's just been kind of numbers that we throw up. This is what was last year. This is what we're projecting this year. So that's one of our big goals going into 2026, is getting a good cost analysis and what it actually costs us to put on basketball for 8U boys.
Right.
How much does it cost to get the balls? What's the cost for the uniforms? How much are we bringing in revenue? What's our profit margin? What's our participation, allocation of this and that? And so that's one of our big goals. I've started building out spreadsheets and
a lot of data,
formulas and numbers and data. So hopefully I can be able to set up my boss when he goes into those budget meetings with county leadership, that we have all the information we need to be able to fight for ourselves a little bit more for that extra dollar.
So
do you guys have an ice rink? Because you guys said something earlier about the Zamboni, didn't you?
So it's just a Zamboni for like the hardwood floors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like re-wax.
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys had like youth hockey or something going on.
No.
Since like athletics is so big for you guys, is there anything that you do for like disabilities, or what is the word I'm looking for?
Like adaptive recreation?
Yeah, I guess, that's a good word.
Yes and no. There's a community group that we help like push people towards. every Thursday night at, I believe, 6 o'clock or 6:30, they meet as kind of an adaptive recreation. And that's kind of all facets of, persons with disabilities. That can go,
Right.
autistic people or more handicapped people, however you, and they do different sports. So I think last month they were doing kickball on one of our baseball fields.
Oh, that's fun.
The winter months, they'll do a basketball program for a month. And then they do, they did disc golf a couple months ago. So we help them in the ways of, yes, you can use our facilities.
Right.
People call in, hey, do you have anything for my child or my young adult or whatever it is? We've got the contact information that we help get them connected with that. So that's what we do. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Do you guys get a lot of support from the community around you guys? Yeah.
No, like I said, we focus on athletics and we are in Georgia. So athletics are massive.
Right.
Football is the end all be all. We care super deeply about baseball. Basketball is insane. It's a lot. It was definitely a big shift from Idaho, where we were just lucky to get 6 teams, 7 teams, in a division. And here we're running a basketball league with 14 teams.
Right.
150 kids are, playing in this one specific age group. And yeah. Coaches are great. The kids are great. There's a lot of really, really good athletes. It's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
So as we're kind of starting to get to the end of our show, we just have a few more questions. One of them Craig suggested last week, so we'll see how that goes. But I just wanted to know, like, as someone who is still in college and going into whatever profession I decided to go into, or even anyone or any young professional watching this or who we're trying to reach, like, do you have any advice to someone a little younger going into the profession?
Yeah. I would say one of the best advice that I ever received, and the person that got me into Parks and Rec, it was back in Colorado. It was a gentleman that I went to church with, and he was a director, Parks and Rec director at a pretty big time city for quite some time. So very well respected in Colorado and very knowledgeable. And I had an informational interview with him and took him out to lunch. And he said, with Parks and Rec specifically, you have to do the dirty work early. So if it's being a scorekeeper, be a scorekeeper. And then what's the next step up? And then what's the next step up? And what's the next step up? And keep advancing. And so that was my mentality going into college is, all right, how do I get tapped into the recreation scene as quick as I can in whatever I could be? And then I knew if I did a good job there and I, had trust in myself and just the person I am, I would be able to have opportunities open up to me. And I mean, that's what happened. I'm super blessed. And so that would be the advice that I would give for college age students that want to have a career in Parks and Rec. Reach out to your local Parks and Rec department and see if there's anything that you can do. If that's being an official, if that's being a referee, if that's being a scorekeeper, if that's being an assistant, if that's being a janitor, going in and cleaning the bathrooms or whatever. Like, if you really want to be in this career, you got to start there.
Yeah, somewhere.
You're not getting that. You're not going college to director. Like,
that almost ties into the networking too, because I'm sure just getting your face out there, right, is so big. Like you said, like even if it's just the low man on the totem pole, just getting your face out there so everybody can see you.
Do a good job and ask what else you can do. That's what.
Way to put your foot in the door. Get your foot in the door. So then sorry. Did you want to say something, Mike?
No, I was going to ask if you had any last questions, and then I'll ask the final one there.
Okay, you can ask the final one.
No, this is like one of the questions that we asked to end it off. But do you have any habits that you would recommend young professionals kind of take into their lives? It could be for Parks and Rec or just everyday life in general.
Oh boy,
I'll put you on the spot here a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. One that I'm trying to take is and change a habit is taking care of myself. It's super easy, just the crazy weird hours that we work and coming in early and staying late, and you got to be passionate to do this work to some degree, and that passion bleeds through, and you want to just keep being here. And there's got to be a point where you just got to go home and kick the shoes off and do what you need to do at home. And that's all things: eating healthy, exercising, just the wellness side of things. That's something that these last 2 years I've just been killing myself work wise, because we needed to, and that's what I felt like was right. And maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but I'm feeling a little bit of the burnt out and the not as healthy and not as so
sounds like he needs a run club.
Yeah.
maybe yeah. So that would be one.
Sorry, you keep going.
Yeah, no, that's it. That would be my recommendation. Take care of yourself so you can be fresher to take care of others.
Right,
No,
exactly.
Great advice.
That is a good one. Well, if you have any last things you wanted to say.
Now's my time.
Yeah, now's your time. Sorry, I left you there.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. This was a good time. Made me reflect. The questions you sent me last night, I was able to kind of, oh man, this was a great experience, and that was a great experience.
Yeah.
Just reflect
on
where I've been, the experience I've been up to this point, and super excited for the future. And some of my team didn't know I was doing this afternoon, and I was able to tell them this morning in one of those event sesh that we were kind of having, and I was excited to be able to do this and just have a nice refresh. And so I look forward to the future of what the Parks and Rec industry has for me, and maybe in the future we'll have you back on.
Yeah.
If you have any other people that you work with that would want to join that are younger in the professionals, send over their information, because we'd love to have them on. But other than that, thank you so much for being on here with us and giving us some of your time.
It was great meeting you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. That's going to end it today. Thank you guys for watching.
Do we have a promo that we run at the end?
Yeah, it's going to play.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
Bye.
Welcome to DPRS Media Co., the first media company built for the people behind the Parks and Rec community. We don't just cover on Parks and Rec, we elevate it, we amplify it, we honor it. At the heart of everything we do is one mission: to serve the public servants, the professionals who design, maintain, and lead the parks that shape our communities. Under the daily Parks and Rec show, we produce 6 powerful platforms. Leadership in Parks and Rec, a spotlight on directors, superintendents, and visionaries shaping the future of public spaces. Facility maintenance, where the boots hit the ground, a deep dive into the systems, crews, and craftsmanship that keep our parks clean, safe, and beautiful. Young Professionals Network, shining a light on the next generation of Parks and Rec. Students, interns, and mentors sharing how we build a legacy together. Youth Sports Mastery, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. This series is for coaches, parents, and rec leaders working to make youth sports fun, fair, and meaningful again. The Rec Room, hosted by the passionate leaders of Henry County Parks and Rec. This show brings frontline energy and real-life stories from the field. And the weekly Parks and Rec Post, our official newsletter delivering stories, insights, and community wins every week. We are DPRS Media Co., LLC, a media company with a mission to uplift the professionals who serve every community, every park, every day.